Guys, welcome back again to my channel. This is also the day 10 of this protest, and these are the demands of the protesters. You could imagine them coming out on day 10, seeing that the government are yet to fulfill any of their demands, and they will vow to extend this protest furthermore to any time the government wakes up to address these issues. So I'll leave you guys to all hear the demands of the protesters. Today's day 10, and you will believe what happened in Abuja, but I'll play the video next time, where they are having 1 million march. Today that is the 10 of the protest, they have 1 million march in Abuja against this protest, and vow to extend this protest to further notice. And then I'll leave you guys to watch this video and hear the demands, the simple demands of these protesters from the government.
We gather here today with heavy heart to address the nation in response to the recent broadcast by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu regarding the ongoing and bad governance in Nigerian peaceful protests. These protests are happening across the length and breadth of our beloved country because we are witnessing a period of unprecedented hardship and turmoil. Since President Tinubu inauguration on May 29, 2023, when he announced the removal of the fuel subsidy without any structured plan to mitigate the negative impact on the people, the lives of ordinary Nigerians have been turned upside down. It is we, the common citizens, who are bearing the brunt of this decision as we struggle under unpalatable socio-economic conditions. Our nation is in crisis. Our nation is truly in crisis, sincerely speaking. And we must come together to work as brothers to continue to demand good governance for our leaders. The Nigerian people have been plunged into deeper poverty and hardship. Subsistence farming has vanished, leaving many families in distress. Parents struggle to put food on the table. It's a sad episode in our country. And some are forced to make stew with cucumbers because basic vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, and onions are too expensive. Farmers live in fear of bandits and kidnappers, preventing them from cultivating their lands, which contribute to the food scarcity we face. The economic turmoil has led to unpaid school fees, and as of 2024, UNICEF has declared Nigeria as having the world's highest number of out-of-school children. This is an urgent situation that demands immediate attention. This is not too much to ask, that our children should be given the opportunity to go to school, that an enabling environment should be created by federal government to accommodate those who are out of school. The number of out-of-school children is unprecedented in the history of this country. Crime rates are soaring as people become increasingly desperate. Communities are attacked. Villages are ransacked. Innocent lives are lost. Ancestral lands are seized. This is not the Nigeria we aspire to build. Our people are not greedy. Nigerians are never greedy. Nigerians are one of the people that can be easily appeased when government do right and stand right by them. We are solely for a decent standard of living, which can be provided by any competent leader. What we are talking about is about competency. It's about the fact that you cannot take irrational policy decisions. It's about the fact that you cannot wake up without proper planning, without proper study. You say subsidy is gone. That has brought untold hardship on our people, increasing the transportation cost alone by 300%, from 290 naira per liter of fuel to 800 naira, now 1,000 plus. How do you say Nigerian people should not ask their government to do better? We're asking our people to do better. It is particularly disappointing to see this government, led by President Tinubu, who once stood as an opposition leader and supported protests, now using state forces to suppress the rights of citizens. Section 39, Section 40 of the Nigerian Constitution, along with Article 19 and 20 of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, guarantee our rights to freedom of expression, and peaceful assembly. Yet, when Nigerians exercise this right under this government led by President Tinubu, they are faced with brutality and even death. The penalty for protest is not death penalty. The punishment for protest should be at least water cannon, rubber bullet. People are protesting in UK as we speak. How many records of death have they recorded? Because the police must be civil. Civil society and the security agency must adhere to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the protesters in Abuja and other elsewhere have respected their right to peaceful protest. We have witnessed tragic events such as the killing of Abbas Kabiru by the Nigerian police in Kaduna and the death of 16-year-old Ismail Muhammad at the hands of the Nigerian army. These are only a few examples of the violence that peaceful protesters have endured, with Amnesty International stating over 22 peaceful protesters brutally killed by the security agencies. If not because of the pressure that came from Kaduna, that the Nigerian army accepted and said in public realm and even offer apology, and then paid 300,000 naira to the family of the deceased, a 16-year-old boy. What will 300,000 do to the family? Look at the emotional trauma that comes from that. If they have applied the alternative of trying to negotiate, speak to Nigerians who are the custodian in the first place of what people governance are, it should be. We won't be in this state of struggling to give our people a fair hearing. The 1999 Constitution has amended, clearly protect our inalienable rights, including the right to protest. According to the Constitution, no one should be held without being charged to court for more than 48 hours. Yet, individuals like Alhaji Khalid Aminu remains in detention without charges, languishing in the SSS custody in Kaduna. This is unacceptable, and the government must do everything possible to release all peaceful protesters or charge them to court. Nigeria may be a lawless place, but our fundamental human rights will not be taken away from us. We demand that all those detained in connection to the ongoing protests be released with immediate effect, or else President Tinubu should be ready to arrest and kill us all. The demand of Nigerians who have gathered peacefully since August 1st, 2024 must be heard. We seek relief from the economic hardship inflicted upon us by the irrational policy of President Tinubu-led government. The use of live ammunition against peaceful protesters is intolerable and must end immediately. We also declare that the harassment and intimidation of journalists who are bona fide members of the fourth estate of the realm for covering the protest is a breach of the Constitution and other relevant international laws, and this should also be stopped immediately. We saw journalists being harassed. We saw journalists from AIT who were shot at the airport, who had serious injury on their leg, broke their leg. We saw a new central journalist. I'm a trained journalist myself. I know the right of journalists in the country to be able to keep Nigeria in the right direction and continue to inform the citizens about policies and decisions of government, and also inform the government. They are the gap between the two sides. And if you now start to make sure that there's no free press, as soon as there's no free press, then there's no democracy. As soon as there's no freedom, and then there's no democracy. As long as the people cannot voice their voice without fear, then our democracy continue to languish in the hands of those who are intimidating us. Our protests are not staged for criminals. To those who see our peaceful protests as a means to put their criminal activities to practice, you are not part of our cause. Our cause is good governance. Our cause, we demand that government must be responsible. Our cause, we demand that government must cut the excessive spending on themselves and ignoring the Nigerian masses. Our cause is that public schools must work for public good. Our cause is that public resources must be used for the development of this country. Our cause is that our refinery must work so that we stop importing and spending dollars that we don't have. Our cause is that human rights must be respected. We call on President Tinubu to immediately halt the use of brute force by security agencies against peaceful protesters. There's no place for the use of live ammunition on peaceful protesters. Nigerians have the right to protest, and our demands are essential for the nation's progress and stability. We urge the federal government to take immediate action to address these issues. We are aware of the government tactics of bribing key stakeholders to quench protests, but this time it will not succeed. Our demands are not met. We will continue to peacefully express our sufferings and frustration until they are addressed for the benefit of the common man on the street. Nigeria will not give up. We will not give in. We will not cave in until their demands are met. And that demand is that the welfare of our people become paramount in the eyes of those who are government. The people are not made the people are not beholden to government. Government is made to provide for the people. So when government fails in that direction, yes, it is the responsibility of citizens to speak up. Let us stand united in our pursuit of a better Nigeria. A Nigeria where the government serves the people and ensures that every citizen even can live with dignity and hope. We thank you for coming here. We thank our pressmen who have risked their life in the time of this protest. We thank young people who have kept up the work of advocacy, who have kept up the work of civil engagement, who have kept up the work of promoting harmonious relationship between communities and tribes, between region and religion. So we thank you all for coming.